Okay, so in your folder for the food lab, you're going to find a file that says Excel. And when you open it, it's going to be a link going out to a Google file, and it looks just like this. You have to be logged in to your Google account in order for you to edit it. Okay, so I've downloaded my copy, and now I'm going to work on it. And I'm taking some student data. And this group that I'm taking the data from, they've already taken the difference of the before they burnt it and the after. So you're going to take, we have to have the mass difference. We got to know how much of that substance you burned. So most of you wrote down what it weighed before, you wrote down what it weighed after, you take the difference. And we're going to put the difference right here. Now, good rule to know is you don't mess with blue columns, okay? So for this team, their mass is 0.9, all right? Now, temperature final, that came from your graph. So final temperature for this team is 20.5. And then temperature initial, which should be a high number for you guys. That's going to be the one that you got when it combusted. So you're going to check for your combustion temperature. So 635 for this one. Now, if you're one of the teams that didn't have your combustion temperature or yours was really small, oops, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Then you may have to borrow data from somebody else. Mass of water. So this team measured out 50 milliliters, and that's going to be 50 grams because density of water is 1. Then we have the TI2, which is the temperature of the water initial. For them, it was trying to find their temperature. That was the initial temperature of your water, 21.6, found it. Now, I can already see with this team, they got a little bit of a problem because their temperature initial should be higher. So I think they recorded something wrong here. I think it's actually 29.2. So make sure that your temperature initial should be lower than your temperature final. Okay. So this team data, I already know that I need to talk to them about. They recorded something in the wrong spot. Okay. We're not going to have the stirring rod. We're not going to have, we do have the mass of the cup. Okay. So don't worry about stirring rod. And you should have weighed the mass of your can, which is 10.4 for this team. Okay. And you can put a note over here for this is the Cheez-It. Okay. So for this team, and don't worry about percent error, okay? We don't have any accepted values here. We'll notice that we get 3.43, okay? And so that is the specific heat capacity of that substance for the Cheez-It, okay? And hopefully when you compare with other teams, it's somewhat similar, all right? The main things are, one, okay, the orange column tells you what the C is, right? The first column is the mass difference of your substance you're working with. This temperature should be higher than your initial temperature of your water. So if it's not, you need to go back and check your graphs. Hopefully most of y'all took screenshots of them and you can go check for your minimum max. This 635 should come from the thermocouple, right? That's going to be the really large number. Most of y'all are going to be between 200 to 600, maybe 700 degrees on that range. If you did not have a thermocouple, you can borrow that data from some other team. It's a place of error, but we only had 5 thermocouples when we did this. Okay. Your milliliters is how many grams of water you have. So if you measured out 50 milliliters, you have 50 grams. Again, that temperature should be less than this temperature here. Okay. You don't need to put this in. If you're bothered the fact that it doesn't have anything there, then put 0. Okay. But we don't have a stirring rod. We do have a can. And so if this is your can, you can carry that number all the way down. It's all going to be 10.4. Okay. So that's how the Excel works. Again, it calculates for you. So on the back where it says to calculate, you just need to put on Excel. Okay, if you feel like you want to hand calculate, you're more than welcome to hand calculate, and that's your space for it. Otherwise, use the Excel program, let it calculate for you, and record your data. All right, great job. Live long and prosper.